Okay, so I just want to put this out. This is going to be in three parts. So one of it is lecture or advice for young teachers. So if you don't want to see that, zoom forward. The other part is how I kind of, as a teacher, you get kind of stressed out. So how I relax for in a classroom or in my life. And the third part is kind of another kind of relaxing thing is my artwork and how I zone myself out or do a doodle. So if you don't like any of that, just zoom all the way till you see the artwork, and it'll give you another way of my artwork and how I relax. Hello, Steve Melendrez. This is going to be 2/3 lecture, the other part art. So it's going to be almost like I'm teaching in a classroom, but instead of teaching to kids, I'm going to be teaching to some teachers, I guess, young teachers, teachers that have not experienced the classroom very much. Now, this is the way I survived for over 10 years, 15 years. A couple of techniques. I can't explain everything because it's long. Now, a new teacher, what you learn in college doesn't apply to the classroom. Most college professors very rarely have ever been in a elementary or a middle school or high school. It's mostly theory, and that doesn't work out so well. The only time you get a real-time experience is when you're student teaching, and that is different because that's already an established teacher that has already filtered out everything and is an expert in what they do, and people just don't understand that those years of mileage and kind of working things out is so vital. And anyway, a new teacher comes in with a passion, 200%, want to volunteer for everything. Unfortunately, they only last a year or two because they just get super burned out. Now, my technique. Now, if you don't know me or haven't seen any of my videos, I'm a very mellow guy. And that's just my demeanor, and that is who I am. I very rarely get upset. Doesn't mean I don't have a temper. I think only 2 or 3 people have ever seen my temper, and it isn't nice. But there's a sign in my room that I explained during the first day of school, and it says mellow, not weak. And I explained to him that, well, I explained the sign pretty much. I explained to him that I'm mellow and I'm easygoing and have a lot of patience. And don't mistake that for being weak, because I'm not. And I said, I know you're young and you are going to test me. I know a couple of you are thinking about it because that's what you do. And okay. And I explained to him that I'm going to warn you a couple of times, and then I'm going to take you outside the door. And I'm going to change. I'm going to transform to a person you never, ever want to see. And I explained to the other students in there, they didn't have a good time. You don't want to be that person. So, maybe it's a week or 2 or something like that. And I'll warn the students. And I said, well, let's go outside. Now, what they don't know, it's all an act. Because they're used to this quiet, easygoing teacher. I get in their faces. My voice is very loud. And I explained to them, I'm kind of toning the voice down. I don't ever want to see that again. You understand me? And they see a different person that they've never seen before. And their eyes get all big and they kind of back up. And I said, the only thing I want to see out of you and hear out of you is yes, sir, no. And they don't know what to do. And it's like, do you understand me? I said, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. And they freak out, and it's all an act, but they don't know that. But that sets the tone for the rest of the semester. Let me tell you, if you lose control on the first week or two, you are toast. And it'll just escalate, and they tag team you so that they take you out in sections. Also, if you say you're going to do something, follow through. Do not do that. If you do that again, Johnny or Sarah, I'm going to put you in a corner, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and this is your third warning. Forget about it. You say something, you follow through, and you don't back down. It sets a precedence that you don't put up with it, you're never going to put up with it, and that's the way it is. It'll make your life easier. Now, all that stuff is gone. Now I'm going to go to the second part, which is how I calm down and relax. And then I'm going to do the third part, which is another part of the relaxation, but the artwork involved. So I have a few ways of relaxing, because it is stressful. And there's some other stuff that's been going on in my life that has put some stress on my life. Anyway, first part is how I relax is I jump in my convertible black scooter and I take my dogs for a ride, and I turn on the blues, and within a half hour, an hour, I feel almost all the anger or upset or things that are going just melt away. It's just magical. The second way I do stuff is, there's a lot of other things, but another one is fly fishing. That is kind of a thing I used to do with my wife, and used to enjoy the outdoors. And I like to think of myself as a dry fly fisherman, which is, you can catch mostly everything 90% under the water, because they're looking for things floating by. It isn't until you have everything connected up and all the clicks are in motion that they will actually take the time to come up to the surface and grab what you are showing. So everything has to be perfect. Presentation, the flow of the fly down the water, is exactly the right season of what they want. And there's nothing like seeing that fish come up to take it off. And then being around, the woods or the stream, and just that quietness, that is another relaxing thing. The other thing is art. Now, drawing, painting does relax me, and it keeps me centered. So that is my enjoyment and my passion, and what keeps me grounded. Now, I do also something called doodling. Now, this is when I just want to make my brain just go flatline and just let my part of my brain and my hand just go together and just flow. And that's the art part I'm going to show you. So if you don't really care about my advice as a teacher, you don't care about my explanation, and I should have said this earlier, sorry. I'm going to probably put a first part in the very beginnings. So I'm going to cut this and put that in the front, so you don't have to listen to all my stuff and just look at what my thing is doing. So I'm going to make another separate little teeny video explaining that. Sorry if I'm going to be repeating myself. So I'm going to show my Zen moment of doodling. So this is my Zen doodling. Like I say, I use the scribbling technique. This is the scribbling techniques. This is where my brain just kind of floats into nothing, and only my hand and a small part of my brain is taking another form. And I'll explain a little bit more about this. And I'm going to show you another one too. I guess that's somewhat of a self-portrait there. Not that one. So this is the other one. Now they just go different directions because I am constantly spinning the paper to see what I see that comes up. And of course, I guess a virus is kind of in there because of what is going on. I never know what's going to show up because I'm just scribbling and seeing what I can see out of it. Now, I have taken this to a water form, so it's exactly the same thing, but just experimenting with the watercolors just to see a different angle. Like I said, there's nothing that's going on. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I would do. And now, this is kind of what I do for relaxing. Obviously, if I turn the paper, I'll see different things. But obviously, I see some kind of face right here. It looks like there's part of glasses. Almost looks like a third grade teacher I used to know. And that's possible too. Sometimes I put a little bit of detail in them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just get them down and then come back later. If I turn it around this way, I might see something different. Of course, my stuff goes into dinosaur mode. Let me get a zoom in here. So I can see that this is almost being a pterodactyl or a pteranodon. And, you know, it's just kind of the way my mind works. It lets me know what I'm thinking about. Now, almost looks like a part of a shark here. So here's a small mouth coming up this way and some teeth in here. And put the gills. Maybe connect that with something. Again, this looks like something different to me. I'm going to probably switch it around this way to show the other thing. Yeah, and it's just I don't know why this rodent-looking thing is carrying a purse. It's just what came into my head as I'm doing this. Maybe it was part of this thing looking like a tail. Which gives me ideas for other things. I don't know, I know I see this little thing wearing a skirt, possibly. Why? I have no idea. I see maybe possible suspenders. Maybe glasses. Can't see very well. Anyway, so that's kind of the way I just let my brain zone out. Hello, I'm Steve Melendrez, a model maker, illustrator, scientific illustrator, sculptor, design natural history museum in Los Angeles. Done a lot of different things, but I'm going to be doing watercolor demonstrations of the techniques I've developed over the years. And it's going to go from a lot of different directions. And also I'm going to be doing videos, I call them video posters for my daughter. So a lot of stuff that I can leave to my daughter about her crazy dad. So I'm taking a lot of different directions, but mainly three. So anyway, that's my introduction that I'm going to attach to everything I'm doing now so I don't have to repeat this. Be careful out there.